Good morning, students. Today we are going to see product to sum and sum to product identities. That is transformation of a product into sum or difference. Okay, it is very useful in doing integration in 12th standard chapter. Okay, so first you know very well sin a plus b and sin a minus b, cos a plus b, cos a minus b. Using this only we are going to obtain the product to sum and sum to product identities. So see now, sin a plus b is sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Sin a minus b is sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. What you have to do, you have to just add these two. So when you add these two, this plus and minus getting cancelled. So you will get 2 sin a cos b. So when you subtract sin a plus b minus sin a minus b, so you have to change the sign of sin a minus b. So here you will have minus. So these two terms getting cancelled. This minus will become plus. So your answer is 2 cos a sin b. And take down the same way cos a plus b and cos a minus b. Just when you add these two, so here the sin a and sin b getting cancelled because one is in minus, another one is in plus. So your answer is 2 cos a cos b. So next one, cos a plus b minus cos a minus b. So what you have to do while you are subtracting, you have to change the sign. So when you change the sign here, these two terms getting cancelled. This plus will become minus. So your answer is minus 2 sin a sin b. Okay. In another way, if you subtract cos a plus b from cos a minus b, that is cos a minus b minus cos a plus b. So you have to change the sign of cos a plus b now. So this will become minus. So these two getting cancelled. This minus will become plus. So you will get 2 sin a sin b. Okay. So in this 4 terms, okay, so you are going to substitute a plus b is equal to c and a minus b is equal to d. So in the identities which are in the box, in that you have to substitute a plus b is equal to c and a minus b is equal to d. If it's so, can you say what is a? What you have to do? If you add these two, plus b and minus b getting cancel. What is a plus a? A plus a is 2a. So 2a in the left side, which is equal to c plus d. 2a is equal to c plus d. If it's so, a is equal to c plus d by 2. Okay, if you substitute a plus b is equal to c and a minus b is equal to d, means in the place of a you have to substitute c plus d by 2. In the same way, what has to come for b? So if you subtract this from a plus b, so when you change the sign here, minus a. So plus a and minus a getting cancelled. This minus b will become plus b. So b plus b is 2b. 2b is equal to c minus d. So b is equal to c minus d by 2. But what are the results we are going to substitute? A plus b is equal to c and a minus b is equal to d. What is a? C plus d by 2 and b is equal to c minus d by 2. If you are going to substitute in the first result, it can be written as sin c plus sin d is equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 and cos c minus d by 2. In the same way, see the first identity, you see that sin c plus sin d is equal to 2 sin c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2. Okay, coming to the second one, here you have to substitute c. Sin c minus sin d is equal to 2 cos c plus d by 2 and sin c minus d by 2. Okay, see the second one. And come to the third one. What is it? Cos c plus cos d is equal to 2 cos c plus d by 2 and cos c minus d by 2. Okay, so you will get the third one. And coming to the fourth, you take this first. cos C minus cos D is equal to minus 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin C minus D by 2. So I have written here, see, cos C minus cos D is equal to minus 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin C minus D by 2. If you use the second one, here what has to come? Cos D minus cos C is equal to 2 sin C plus D by 2 and sin C minus D by 2. So, see that here cos C minus cos D means here you will have minus. So, cos D minus cos C means it is 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin C minus D by 2. Okay. So, in the same thing, cos C minus cos D, here you can write, here you are having minus. So, without minus also you can write. So, what you have to do? This minus you can give it to the second term, because sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. So, if you give this minus to the angle of C minus D by 2, you see that which will become plus? This D will become plus and C will become minus. So, you see that cos C minus cos D is equal to, without the minus, how it can be written as 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin D minus C by 2. So, here the last one. So, you can write it in 3 ways. So, first you can write the minus in the front. Otherwise, if you don't want this minus can be applied to this term. So, it will become 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin D minus C by 2. Both are same. Otherwise, you can change this identity as cos D minus cos C is equal to 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin C minus D by 2. Okay. So, these identities are very important. You see the left side, here is a sum or difference of two trigonometry functions. In the right side, you will get the product of the two trigonometry functions. So, that's why these identities are called product to sum or sum to product identities. Okay, you see that in these first two identities, you will have sine term and the cos term, they are in the product. Okay, so if you have sine and the cos term comes, so you will get some confusion in choosing the formula, first one or second one. So, what you have to keep in your mind, you look at the angle of sine and cos in the first one. It is C plus D by 2. Here you are having C minus D by 2. Which angle is bigger? Which is bigger? C plus D by 2 is bigger comparing to C minus D by 2. See that? If sine and cos terms, if they are in the product, you have to see the angle. If the sine angle is bigger, the formula is sin C plus sin D. Okay, and coming to here, which angle is bigger? C plus D by 2 is bigger. So, it is in the ratio, trigonometry ratio cos. So, cos angle is bigger, you have to choose the formula sin C minus sin D. Okay, and next one, if both are cos terms, if they are in the product, you have to choose the formula cos C plus cos D. And both the terms are in sine, and if they are in the product, you have to choose the formula cos C minus cos D or cos D minus cos C according to the minus sign. Okay, I'll repeat again. Sine and cos terms, both are in the product. You have to see which angle is bigger, which trigonometry function angle is bigger. If sine angle is bigger, you have to choose the first one, that is sin C plus sin D. If cos angle is bigger, you have to choose the second formula, that is sin C minus sin D. If both the terms are in the cos, you have to choose cos C plus cos D. Okay, if both the terms they are in sine terms, if we have sine functions, you have to choose either cos c minus cos d or cos d minus cos c. So first you have to learn these identities, then only we can do the problem. That is in the exercise 3.6. Okay, come to the first problem. Exercise 3.6, first problem. Express each of the following as a sum or difference. You see the term sine 35 degree, cos 28 degree. First look at this. They are in the product. The two trigonometry functions, they are in the product. So you have to write as a sum or difference. Okay. So first one, you have to compare with the formula. So sine terms and the cos terms both are there. If both are comes, what you have to see? First you have to see the angle. See the angle here, it is 35 degree. Here it is 28 degree. Which is bigger? Sine angle is bigger. If sine angle is bigger, you have to choose the formula sine c plus sine d. Okay, got it. So before that, something is here. What here you're having in the formula? 2 is there, but this 2 is not here. So this 2 is needed for writing the formula. So for that, you just multiply and divided by 2. Okay, multiply and divided by 2. Okay, now it is exactly suit with the first formula. So what you have to do? You have your formula is sine c plus sine d. You have to write, what do you have to write? Sine c plus sine d. So if you want to write c, what do you have to do? A plus b. And if you want to write d, what do you have to do? It is a minus b. So if you want to find c, you want to write c, you have to add the angles. And if you want to write d, you have to subtract the angle. So here what formula you have chosen? So they are in the product. So to write the formula, what is needed? 2 is needed. So first you have to multiply and divide it by 2. They are in the product. The product, one is sine, another one is cos. So that you have to see the angle. Here sine angle is bigger. So you are going to choose the first formula sine c plus sine d. Okay, see what you have to do? You have to add the angle. So 35 degree plus 28 degree. For d, what you have to do? The angle has to be subtracted. So 35 degree minus 28. So if you add the angle, it is 63 degree. If you subtract, it is 7 degree. So we have changed the product of two trigonometry functions as sum of those trigonometry functions. Okay, if I come to the second subdivision, what you are having? Sine 4x into cos 2x. So they are in the product. So product in the formula, what is needed? 2 is needed. 2 is not present in the question. So what you have to do? You have to multiply and divide it by 2. Again, the two trigonometry functions, they are in the product. So one is sine, another one is cos. If sine and cos comes, what I told, first you have to see the angle. What is the angle here? It is 4x and here it is 2x. Which is bigger, 4x or 2x? 4x is bigger. So sine angle is bigger. If sine angle is bigger, you have to choose which formula? First one. So in the right side, they are having, so you are going to write which one? Sine c plus sine d. Okay, so sine c plus sine d. So c means you have to add the angles and d means you have to subtract the angle. So therefore your answer is half into sine 6x plus sine 2x. Okay, coming to the third subdivision, 2 sine 10 theta cos 2 theta. You see that again it's a product of two trigonometry functions. One is in terms of sine, another one is in terms of cos. If sine and cos comes, what you have to do? you have to see the angle. So what are the angles present here? 10 theta. Another one is 2 theta. Which angle is bigger? Sine angle is bigger. So you have to choose the same formula. What is it? The first one, sin C plus sin D is equal to 2 sin C plus D by 2 and cos C minus D by 2. So this term is in the right side. So you are going to write sin C plus sin D. So see what you have to do, add the angles. So 10 theta plus 2 theta is 12 theta. If you subtract the angle, 10 theta minus 2 theta, that is 8 theta. So here why I didn't multiply and divided by 2. Already 2 is present in the question. So we need not multiply and divided by 2. Coming to the fourth subdivision, you see that cos 5 theta, cos 2 theta. So both trigonometric functions, they are in the product. You see that both are cosine function. If both are cosine means you have to choose which formula. You see that here both are cosine functions, they are in the product. So 2 cos C plus D by 2 and cos C minus D by 2. So they are in this format. So you have to choose the formula. What formula? Cos C plus cos D. Okay. So see that in the product what is needed first? 2 is needed. Here you don't have 2. So first you have to multiply and divide it by 2. Both are cosine function. So you have to choose which formula? Cos C plus cos D. So cos C means what you have to do? You have to add the angles. So 5 theta plus 2 theta is 7 theta. And D means what you have to do? You have to subtract the angle. So 5 theta minus 2 theta, that is equal to 3 theta. So the answer is half into cos 7 theta plus cos 3 theta. And come to the fifth subdivision, sin 5 theta, sin 4 theta. Okay, so they are in the product, but both are sine functions. So if both are sine functions, if they are in the product means you have to be very careful in choosing the formula, because 3 ways you can write. Oh, so see now they are in the product, both are sine. So to write the formula, what is needed? 2 is needed. So we multiply. The first step, multiply and divided by 2. Okay. So how it looks like? It is 2 sine C plus D by 2 and sine C minus D by 2. You see that? You don't have minus in the front, the question. So you have to choose the formula. They are in the product. So you have to choose this. 2 sine C plus D by 2 sine C minus D by 2. So it is in this format. So you have to choose the term as cos D minus cos C. Careful in that. Cos D minus cos C. Okay. So which formula you have chosen? Cos D minus cos C. So cos D means what you have to do? You have to subtract the angle. So 5 theta minus 4 theta minus cos C. What is C? 5 theta plus 4 theta. So first you have to write the format cos D minus cos C. Okay. So and D means you have to subtract the angle. C means you have to add the angle. So therefore the answer for this question is half into cos theta minus cos 9 theta. So we are coming to the second problem. Express each of the following as a product. So in the first problem, so the product terms are given, you have changed as a sum or difference. Now the trigonometric functions are in sum or difference, you have to write as a product. So it is very simple. Okay, see the first one, sine 75 degree minus sine 35 degree. So in between you are having minus. So how it looks like? It is in the form of sin C minus sin D. Okay. Sin C minus sin D means your formula is 2 cos C plus D by 2 and sin C minus D by 2. Now your question is in the left left side format. So you have to write the answer and the right side. Okay. So you see that in the place of C, what you are having 75 degree. In the place of D, what you are having 35 degree. Just substitute in the formula. 2 cos C plus D. So 75 degree plus 35 degree by 2. And sine 75 degree minus 35 degree by 2. So when you add these two, it is 110 degree divided by 2. So that is nothing but 55 degree. And 75 degree minus 35 degree is 40 degree. So 40 degree by 2 is 20 degree. Okay. So see the next one. Cos 65 degree and cos 65 degree plus cos 15 degree. So how it look like? It is in the form of cos C plus cos D. So what is cos C plus cos D? It is 2 cos C plus D by 2 cos C minus D by 2. So C is 65 degree and D is 15 degree. So you have to add and it has to be divided by 2. So your answer is 80 degree by 2, that is 40 degree. 65 degree minus 15 degree is 50 degree by 2. So it will become 25 degree. Okay. So in the same way, you see the third one, sine 50 degree plus sine 40 degree. So how it looks like? It is in the form of sine C plus sine D, first formula. So the answer is 2 sine C plus D by 2 and cos C minus D by 2. So what is your C? It is 50 degree. What is your D? It is 40 degree. So you have to add and it has to be divided by 2. So that is 45 degree. And 50 degree minus 40 degree is 10 degree divided by 2, that is 5 degree. Here you can substitute sine 45 degree and you can give the value. Okay, coming to the fourth subdivision, cos 35 degree minus cos 75 degree. How it looks like? If you take, it is cos C minus cos D. If it is cos C minus cos D, you see the formula. See now, cos C minus cos D. The formula is what it is? Minus 2 sine C plus D by 2 and sine C minus D by 2. You can choose this formula. If you don't want to write this minus, so what you have to do? You have to write 2 sine C plus D by 2 and sine D minus C by 2. Okay, in both the ways I have written, you see to that. So first, cos C minus cos D. Okay, so I have chosen the formula without minus. So it is 2 sine C plus D by 2 sine D minus C by 2. So in the place of C, you are having 35 degree and in the place of D, you are having 75 degree. If you add, you will get the answer as 110 degree divided by 2, that is 55 degree. And here you see the subtraction, first one which has to come, D. What is your D? 75 degree. 75 degree minus 35 degree divided by 2. That is 40 degree divided by 2. So here you are having 20 degree. So cos 35 degree minus cos 75 degree answer is 2 sine 55 degree and sine 20 degree. Okay. So in another way also you can write. What another way? If you want to write the minus in the front. So cos C minus cos D is equal to minus 2 sine C plus D by 2. If the minus front, if you have written front, so this term will become sine C minus D by 2. If the minus is not written in the front, you have to change the angular sign of D minus C by 2. That is the difference. Okay, here I have written minus. So what is your C? 35 degree. What is your D? 75 degree. So it is just added and it has to be divided by 2. So the answer is 55 degree. Come to the second term. C minus D by 2. What is your C? 35 degree. So 35 degree minus 75 degree divided by 2. So what has to come? Minus 40 degree by 2. That is minus 20 degree. So you know very well, sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta. So this minus will go to the front. So minus into minus plus. So it will become 2 sine 55 degree, sine 20 degree. You see the answer in both the way you are getting the same answer. So you can use either. So cos C minus cos D, you can write 2 sine C plus D by 2 sine D minus C by 2, or minus 2 sine C plus D by 2 sine C minus D by 2. Oh, so see the problem number 5. See the, show that, you see the question. Sin 8x cos x minus sin 6x cos 2x cos 3x divided by cos 2x cos x minus sin 3x sin 4x is equal to tan 2x. Okay, see the term, first term, how they are. They are in the product. So if you want to change as plus or minus, sum or difference, what is needed for the product? 2 is needed. So for all the terms, I multiply and divided by 2. You see that? First multiply and divided by 2. Okay. See the first term. You see they are in the product. One term is in sine, another term is in cos. If sine and cos terms, if they are in the product, you have to see the angle which is bigger. So which angle is bigger? So 8x is bigger. So it is a sine angle is bigger. So if sine angle is bigger, you have to choose which formula? The first one, sine C plus sine D. So therefore, sine C, what is it? Sine C. Okay, in the place of C, what you have to write? You have to add the angle. So 8x plus x, that is 9x. So sine C plus sine D. D, if you want to write D, you have to subtract the angle. So 8x minus x is 7x. So first term is over. Coming to the second term. Again, they are in the product. One term is sine, another term is cos, means you have to see the angle 6x, 3x. Which angle is bigger? Sine function angle is bigger. So again, you have to use the same formula, sine C plus sine D. C, if you want to write, you have to add the angles. So 6x plus 3x is 9x. D, if you want to write, you have to subtract the angles. So 6x minus 3x is 3x. Sine C plus sine D. Okay, coming to the denominator of the first term. So both are in the product, both are cosine functions. Okay, if both are cosine, so you have to choose which formula, the third one. What is the answer? Cos C plus cos D. What is it? Both are cosine function. If they are in the product, you have to choose the third formula, that is cos C plus cos D. So here cos C. C, if you want to write, you have to add the angles. 2x plus x is 3x. Cos C plus cos D. D means you have to subtract the angle. 2x minus x is x. Okay, coming to the fourth one. Both are sine functions. Both are sine functions. They are not in the sum or difference. They are in the product. Okay, so you see that which one has to be chosen? The first one. If you want to choose the first one, in the product terms, you should have minus in the front. So in our question, I didn't take this minus. So there is no minus. So I have to write the formula. Which formula has to be taken? This formula. It is in the form of 2 sine C plus D by 2 and sine C minus D by 2. If both are sine function, in the front if you don't have minus, you have to choose a formula cos D minus cos C. What is the formula? Cos D minus cos C. So cos D, what is D? You have to subtract the angle. So 3x minus 4x or minus x. So cos of minus x is cos x. Otherwise you can choose cos 4x minus 3x, that is x. Cos C, cos D minus cos C. C means what you have to do? you have to add the angles. So 4x plus 3x is 7x. Okay. You see, from all the terms, from the numerator, what is common? 1 by 2 is common. So it is taken out. So the first two terms is written, and you have to write in the front you're having minus. This minus has to be applied to both the terms. So it is minus sine 9x minus sine 3x. In the same way, in the denominator also 1 by 2 is common, so it is taken out. The first two terms is written as it is. This minus has to be applied to both the terms. So it will become minus cos x minus into minus plus cos 7x. Okay. So plus this half and this half getting cancelled. Sine 9x minus sine 9x getting cancelled. So the remaining is sine 7x minus sine 3x. Denominator in the same way, this cos x and minus cos x getting cancelled. Here you are having cos 3x plus cos 7x. You look at the term, you have to prove tan 2x. Okay, see how it looks like now. You see, is it in the product? No, in between you are having minus. So it is the difference of two terms. So see that it is in the form of which form? It is in the left side. So you see that here also sine function, here also sine function. Sine 7x minus sine 3x. So it is in the form of sine c minus sine d. Okay, what is your C now? 7x. What is your D? 3x. If you have, it is in the sine C minus sine D. What is the formula you have to write? 2 cos C plus D by 2 and sine C minus D by 2. So it is 2 cos. C is what? 7x. And what is D? 3x. So 7x plus 3x is 10x by 2. C plus D by 2 into sine. What you have to do? C minus D by 2. So it is 7x minus 3x by 2. 7x minus 3x is 4x. 4x by 2. Coming to the denominator. So you see that here cos 3x plus cos 7x. So it is in the form of cos C plus cos D. You see now. Cos C plus cos D. Okay. So cos C plus cos D means, what is the formula I have to write? 2 cos C plus D by 2 cos C minus D by 2. So 2 cos C plus D. So if you add it is 10x by 2. And next one what? Cos of C minus D by 2. If you take this is C, 3x minus 7x by 2. Okay, the 2 getting cancelled. What is cos 10x by 2? It is 5x. Both the terms getting cancelled. So in the numerator you are having sine 2x. In the denominator cos of minus 2x. Cos of minus theta is cos theta. Okay. What is sine x by cos 2x? It is